Good evening, everyone. I'm Varsha Shrivastava from Beautiful Spotless Skin Team. I hope you're all keeping safe. To look beautiful and smart at all times is quest of humans, right from the beginning of civilization. In today's era, changing weather with excessive heat or humidity increases the risk of damage due to UVA and UVB rays, which is very difficult to control and which makes skin more prone to wrinkles, melasma, and skin cancer. According to survey, 67% of people in India are not using sunscreen daily. And there are several things about sunscreen that people don't even know. So to keep you informed, today we are here to know about sunscreen, an integral part of skincare regimen. So let's connect today with our skin expert, Dr. Swarnali Sasmal, live from Siliguri. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Swarnali Sasmal to you all. Dr. Swarnali Sasmal is a young, vibrant, and highly skilled in the field of dermatology. She has an experience of 3 years in the field of dermatology. She has completed MBBS from West Bengal State University in 2015 and MD in dermatology, venerology, and leprosy from B.N. Mandal University in 2019. So Dr. Swarnali will share with us about skincare regimen and how sunscreen is very important to us. So ma'am, it is a pleasure to have you in our show. We welcome you.
Hello everyone, good evening. I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to speak on sunscreens. So let's go ahead and let me know whatever questions you have. It will be great for me to answer each of them. I would request all of you to be a little specific with your questions so that it's easy for me to answer.
Definitely, ma'am. So, ma'am, there are many things that people want to know about sunscreen because everybody knows that sunscreen is important. But what is the main role of sunscreen? So that we would like to know.
Okay, so I think most of the people these days they are pretty much aware with regarding sunscreens. So there are a lot of sunscreen available in the market, medicated as well as non-medicated. But first, we need to know why we do need sunscreens, right? So sunscreens are basically sun used for sun protection, photo protection. So sun rays does emit a lot of harmful rays like UVA and UVB. These days, also there are a lot of other lights as well, which we'll come to later. We can discuss on that as well. So usually we need to protect our skin from the UVA rays and UVB rays mostly. So these rays are harmful for the skin not only when it comes to tanning and sunburn, but also it leads to a lot of infections and allergies photodermatitis, like polymorphic light eruption, etc. As well as it causes burns, like I mentioned, and in rarest of rare cases, it can lead to photocarcinogenesis. It can lead to skin cancers. So this is the reason we need sunscreen. So especially after moisturization every day, sunscreen in the morning and in the afternoon is of utmost importance. Otherwise, all your other skincare, the elaborate skincare routine, whatever everyone follows these days, will go waste.
Okay. And ma'am, whenever you purchase the sunscreen, SPF is mentioned on the product. So what is the meaning of
Right.
SPF?
So SPF means sun protection factor. We basically need a sun SPF level of 15. A basic level of SPF 15 to 30 is more than enough for Indian skin. Uh, these days, there are a lot of sunscreens in the market with higher SPF, like SPF 70, 100, but above SPF 50, it was declared in 2011 by the FDA that above SPF 50, it's not much beneficial. So all the sunscreens out there in the market, which is of SPF 70, 80, 90, 100, it's all useless. So try to get a sunscreen of basically 25 to 30, I would say, is the best. And most important is to reapply it every 2 hours. That is more important rather than getting a sunscreen which has a higher SPF. A higher SPF sunscreen more than 50 will give you nothing. So it's just a marketing gimmick. 50 is more than enough.
So we got to know two important points over here, that we need to apply sunscreen every 2 hours. And secondly, that the market, they show that SPF 70, 100 is also available, but that is not that much essential. So what ma'am
Right.
has mentioned, that should be defined. Okay, ma'am. So ma'am, there are different skin type. So does that really affects the type of sunscreen that we should use?
See, yes, of course, to some extent, yes, because sometimes in very rare cases, sunscreens do give acne or comedone like eruptions. So it's better you use a sunscreen which will suit your skin tone, which will, I mean, suit your skin type actually. There are a lot of them available these days. There are very water-based sunscreens, gel-based sunscreens, silicone sunscreens. There are cream formulations as well, especially for mature skin, for women and men above 45, 50, they would need something which is more on the cream side in case they are not getting acne, because these days adult acne is also very common, right? So people at the age of 45, 50 is also getting acne. So in those cases, yes, switch to a gel sunscreen or a silicone sunscreen, which is non-comedogenic. Yes, look for these particular points, these keywords written on a sunscreen, like non-comedogenic, hypoallergenic, water resistant. It's usually water resistant and not waterproof. So these words should be there on a sunscreen. So if it's usually non-comedogenic, it will not give you further eruptions. And apart from that, if you're out on a holiday, on a vacation, you may use spray sunscreens for your body. Those are also quite effective. These days in India also you get those sunscreens readily available. If not in the over the counter or in the pharmacy, at least you'll get it easily online. And apart from that, there are also very light tinted sunscreens available in the market. So for people who have little bit of pigmentation here and there, like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, like freckles, like high melasma, these tinted sunscreens work really well, because patients who have pigmentation, they get pretty conscious when it comes to applying skincare and makeup as well. They want to, of course, cover up the marks. So in that case, tinted sunscreen also works really well. So it works as sunscreen as well as your makeup. So two in one.
Okay. And ma'am, only women should apply sunscreen, or even like men should apply it, because mainly in the
There is
advertisements only.
no men and women in sorry to interrupt. There's no men and women in dermatology. Okay, so there's nothing like this should be for men. This should be for women. No, when it comes to dermatology, we are not biased.
Yes.
So it's everybody needs to apply sunscreen. Children, old people, men, women, boys, girls, everyone. Sunscreen should be for everybody. And another point, let me tell you, when you were speaking about the formulations of the sunscreens, these days a lot of makeup products also have SPF in it, right? Foundations, compacts, powders, they have written SPF. Let me tell you, the SPF in a makeup is never enough when it comes to sunscreen. You need to do a separate skincare routine, which will also include a sunscreen. You do the complete routine, apply your sunscreen generously, leave it on for 10 minutes approximately, and then you start your makeup. Immediately when you do, when you use a sunscreen, your skin might feel a little sticky, it might start sweating a little. Let it absorb a little, calm down a little, and only then you apply your makeup if you need to. Because an SPF in a makeup product is never enough. You will need a sunscreen. The sunscreen separately will give you the protection. The SPF in the makeup will never give you protection.
Certainly. So first and most important point over here is, in advertisement, mainly they focus on women, but that doesn't mean that men shouldn't apply it. It is equally important, as ma'am has mentioned, for both men and women to apply it, and at a proper interval, that is 2 hours. Okay. So, ma'am, as you have told that every 2 hours we should apply the sunscreen. So here comes one question in the mind that the people who are in home, like they think that we are not exposed to sunlight or sun rays, so they don't apply. They think that if we are in home, we should give rest to our skin. So is it good to do it?
No, not at all. Because when you're inside the room, the walls, your wardrobe, your mirrors, everything will reflect light, reflect sunlight. Also, these days there are lights. Sometimes we need lights in the daytime as well. These indoor lights also emit rays, so you need protection from these lights as well, and also the reflection, of course, which I spoke about. So whether or not it is you're stepping out from your home, whether or not it is cloud, if there's like broad daylight, you have to apply sunscreen even on a cloudy day, even on a rainy day, and even in winters.
Hmm.
So yes, there's no like you cannot stop using sunscreen in winters. You cannot stop using sunscreen in monsoons. The application will also be the same. The application time will also be the same. And but of course, your formulation can change with the season. Your skin might feel a little dry in the winters. So in that case, you might want to use something a little on the heavier side in the winters.
Definitely. Okay. So even in home and in all the seasons, we should apply it. Okay.
Right.
And ma'am, as you've mentioned that whenever we apply the sunscreen, many a times it happens that we feel like our skin is very sticky or it's quite wet. So what is the reason behind it? It is because of the poor sunscreen or something else?
Uh, Sometimes what happens is sunscreens, if until unless the sunscreen is really water based, thick sunscreens, even if they are gel based or silicone based, you might feel a little sticky, especially in the hot and humid climate. So there's nothing to worry about. Give it some time to absorb in your skin, then I'm sure the sweating will reduce. But again, there are certain, like a lot of sunscreen which won't make you feel sweaty. There are matte finish sunscreens. There are completely water-based sunscreens. There are gel-based sunscreens. There are also certain brands also keep sunscreen in a compact form, and it has a high SPF. In that also, you need a separate liquid sunscreen as well. But then, if you do a double protection, then why not?
Okay. And ma'am, there is something about blue light and infrared light as well. So what are
Yeah.
these lights and how does it affect the skin?
Blue light usually emits from all the screens we are using these days, and there's a lot of use of social media. So, of course, these screens from the laptop, from your phone, from your iPad, all these emit a lot of light, including blue light. So, these also causes harm to your skin. So there are specialized sunscreens in the market these days which protect not only from UVA, UVB, but they also protect from blue light as well as infrared. So try and invest in something of these kind of sunscreens, because why not? Right? Even if you're the entire day, if you're at home, not using any kind of products, not stepping out, then definitely you could invest in a sunscreen which also protects from blue light.
Okay. And ma'am, as you have mentioned that when we are doing the makeup, there are many cosmetics available which has SPF in it, but we should apply sunscreen before. So could you please elaborate on that whole process of how we should apply sunscreen and how much time we should wait?
So in the morning, whenever you complete your skincare, I would say always try and use your skincare routine from thinner to thicker consistency. So you wash your face, and then you use your toners, your serums, your essences, or whatever you're using, and then you moisturize your face. Then you use your sunscreen. Okay, leave it for some time, approximately for 5 minutes to 10 minutes, even better. And then you do your rest of the makeup if you want, or just go by it as it is. And better if you could wait 15 minutes before you step out.
Okay. And what are the things that one should keep in mind when he is going to choose the sunscreen for himself?
See, again, like I told you, whatever suits you, when you get a sunscreen, choose a sunscreen which you can use regularly. And of course, which suits your, like, which fits your pocket. Why not? So there are a lot of sunscreens in the market these days, which are affordable. They're expensive ones, but of course, choose ones which will suit your skin type. There's nothing better than trial and error. So you keep using like sunscreen and just see whichever suits you the best. You're regularly using, you're being able to use, not causing you any kind of allergies or itching. It's not causing you much of stickiness or sweating. So those sunscreen will be the best for you. And another thing is the amount of sunscreen you apply. You cannot apply like a tiny bit of sunscreen for your entire face. You need 2 milligram per centimeter square of sunscreen. And even better, if you could use 2 fingertip units for your face and neck, 2 fingertip units for your arms, each arm, and legs. So whatever, however you're using it, actually a sunscreen should be used in all sun exposed areas, right? But most of us like use it just on the face and neck. But make it a habit to use it on your arms also, and whichever other area is sun exposed basically. But the key here is to reapply every 2 hours, and especially if you're out in the sun continuously.
Okay. So application of sunscreen not only in the face but on all parts of the body, whichever is visible whenever you're going out or not going out is essential. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So,
I think you
ma'am,
have questions, right?
we are about to get a few questions from our live viewers in a while. So one by one, we'll get that. Okay. So, ma'am, we were discussing about the application of sunscreen. So there are people who think that we can put on the patta or cloth or anything to cover our face, or we will just carry one umbrella. So we don't have to apply sunscreen. It's just a few excuses to get rid of sunscreen. So is it really beneficial to them?
See, those kind of measures, when you are using a full covered clothes, you're using an umbrella, using a cap or a hat, just avoiding sun, like areas which are sunlit, those measures are just extra. Sunscreens are more beneficial, but in cases of different, like in cases of patients who are uh, suffering from melasma, from freckles, for them, sunscreen as well as strict photo protection physically is also important.
Okay. Okay. So, ma'am, we have got few live viewers' questions, so we'll take that one by one. And the first one is from Ishu Saxena. She's asking, how do I choose the best sunscreen for me? Ma'am, please help me. My skin is very sensitive.
Since your skin is sensitive, I would suggest you use sunscreens again, like I mentioned earlier, non-comedogenic and hypoallergenic. So these particular words should be there in the sunscreen. Okay, so these factors help you in choosing the best sunscreen, and there are high chances that you will not get any kind of eruptions or your skin won't itch and cause you any kind of problem. So try and look for sunscreens which are non-comedogenic, which are hypoallergenic, and also fragrance. This is also very important because usually people with sensitive skin get reactions from fragrance.
It happens. Okay. And the next question is from Advik Singh, and he's asking, what is the difference between regular sunscreen and sport sunscreen?
See, these are all just marketing gimmicks. Okay, sports sunscreen and regular sunscreen. Again, the key is reapplication and the amount of sunscreen you're applying. That is the main thing. 2 fingertip units and reapplying every 2 hours.
Okay. So we are getting to know lots of marketing strategy that the people use to attract the audience. But as ma'am has suggested, Advik, you need to apply the sunscreen in a regular interval, and the proper application is important. Okay. My next question is from Madhuri Soni, and she's asking, does sunscreen really prevent tanning?
See, in a lot of cases, I have seen that yes, sunscreen does prevent tanning. So yes, sunscreen will prevent you from tanning, but that does not mean that you will, not reapply your sunscreen. Just application of sunscreen once in the morning will not do. You will have to reapply your sunscreen. Plus, you will have to avoid sun exposed places. Okay, so you will have to use all the physical protection like umbrella and scarves and wearing full clothes, tinted glasses in your vehicles and your homes if possible. These are just added measures. But then tanning, some people's skin is just prone to more and more tanning, and some people just get sunburned. So there's a difference. So it all depends on the skin type, the skin tone. These are also very important. So tanning, these are also subjective. It completely varies from people to people.
Okay, ma'am. And the next one is from Priya Sharma. She's asking, is a spray sunscreen okay to use for my dry skin?
Yes, of course. Why not? So sunscreen is available in the market in a lot of variations. Since you have a dry skin, you go for a sunscreen which is cream based. Okay, cream based. But again, you can also go for gel based. But the ones which will feel a little uh, not oily, I would say, but then a little more soothing for your skin. Because dry skin, if they use sunscreens which are more water based or silicone based, sometimes it might get drier and it might start itching. So try and use sunscreens which are on the creamier side.
Okay. And the next one is from Priya Sharma only, and it's very, very important. And that, ma'am, what are the side effects of using sunscreen?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So sunscreens in rare cases might cause contact dermatitis, allergic contact dermatitis, or irritant contact dermatitis. So in that cases, if when you're trying a new sunscreen, what you could do is do a patch test, which we usually suggest for most of the products. So take a little bit of sunscreen, rub it on the inside of your elbow on this flexural areas, and little bit on the behind your jawline or behind the neck. You could apply it and keep it overnight, and then you could see if it's causing any reaction. Then you're probably allergic to sunscreen. If not, then you can of course continue using it.
That's a very good method to see whether sunscreen is really suiting you or not.
Yeah, but usually if you're having a look at all the keywords I mentioned about, non-comedogenic, hypoallergenic, fragrance-free, oil-free, you see these, and if you use these products, usually don't give any kind of reaction. But if you're usually allergic or prone to any kind of sunscreen, you will be allergic to most of the sunscreen. So in that case, you could maybe switch to a physical sunscreen.
Okay. Okay. And ma'am, next one is from Soumya Shukla, and she's asking, ma'am, what is the best SPF to use? I am a teenager, so for me, please suggest the best SPF sunscreen.
See, what is best for you might not be best for me, right? And what is best for me might not be best for you. So best word is very subjective. So I cannot comment or tell you what is best for you without having a look on your skin. So it's better you speak to me one-on-one for that. Otherwise, like I already mentioned, there are oily skin type sunscreens, there are dry skin type sunscreens. So for this, maybe you'll have to speak to me one-on-one.
Okay. Definitely. So, in such a case, so take the proper consultation from the dermatologist, and then you will get the real picture of the sunscreen is best for you somewhere. Okay. I'm taking next question, and it is from Shivali Sen. She's asking, ma'am, is it okay to use the sunscreen at night, or I can also apply moisturizer?
Uh, if you are at night, you are exposed to blue light, then I would suggest use a sunscreen. If you're not exposed to any blue light, then I think only moisturization is fine. In fact, after you're sleeping, you don't need a sunscreen. You just need your moisturizer and whatever other skin care product you're using, which especially concerns your skin type or condition.
And the next one is from Tarun Banerjee, and he's asking, what is the difference between physical and chemical sunscreen?
Again, this is a very good question. It's very commonly asked. So, physical sunscreens are the sunscreens in the market which leave a white cast, right? To be like saying it in simple language, physical sunscreens leave a white cast. It contains titanium oxide and zinc oxide like ingredients, and chemical sunscreens are the ones which absorb in the skin. Okay, so and physical sunscreens reflect the rays, and that's why it leaves the sun like a white cast. And the chemical one it absorbs in the skin and usually contains like ingredients like avobenzons, etc.
Okay. And the next one is from Ankita Mishra, and she's asking, ma'am, I'm a working woman और कंप्यूटर के सामने मुझे 10 घंटे बैठना पड़ता है, तो मैं कैसे अपने फेस का ध्यान रख सकती हूँ?
आप अपने फेस का ध्यान कैसे रख सकते हैं? दैट रेगुलरली आई कैन नॉट कमेंट अगेन विदाउट हैविंग अ लुक एट योर स्किन. उसके लिए वन ऑन वन कंसल्टेशन बहुत जरूरी होता है. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट द सिंपल 3 थिंग्स आई वुड से, क्लेंजिंग कीजिए, मॉइस्चराइजेशन और सनस्क्रीन. और सिंस यू सिट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द कंप्यूटर इन फॉर 10 hours straight, of course sunscreen which also caters for blue light वो ज़्यादा important है. So look for a sunscreen which caters for UVA, UVB as well as blue light.
Okay. And the next one is from Shubha Maran, and he's asking, do some sunscreen ingredients and products really work better than other products?
That's a very big question. Can you come again?
Okay. So do some sunscreen ingredients and products really work better than other sunscreen products?
No, not really. You need to just have a look what kind of skin you have, and what are the ingredients, like what are the factors which I already mentioned, hypoallergenic and etc. And ingredients देख के sunscreen लेना is, I don't think it's quite possible. So best is you go to a dermatologist and you seek his or her help, and then they'll be able to give you a specific sunscreen for you. But then usually the main ingredients are always the same. If it's physical, it will have titanium oxide and zinc oxide, and if it's chemical, it will have avobenzons and their family ingredients. So apart from that, usually others like oils and if they have some brightening agents, those are just add-ons. So it's not much of a difference. Main ingredients are always the same. Look for the main ingredients.
Okay. And ma'am, people like especially women, they have lots of fairness creams that they want to apply twice a day or thrice a day. So they think that if they will apply sunscreen, they won't be able to apply some other fairness creams. So please suggest how can they take good care of their skin with sunscreen?
Okay, so firstly, I don't understand the obsession with fairness in India. And moving on, so there's nothing to do with sunscreen and other fairness products. Other fairness products or whatever other products you're using, serums and creams and moisturizers, these will always go first. Sunscreen should be the last step of your skincare routine. So you use your serum, wait for a minute, use your other brightening agents or moisturizer, wait for a minute, and then use your sunscreen. That should be the last step of your skincare routine. And then if you want to switch to your makeup routine, you may.
Definitely. Okay, and ma'am, we are discussing that how sunscreen is really important and what role it plays in everyone's life. So let's discuss what will happen if the person is not applying sunscreen daily in his life, or not even once in a day.
Okay, so uh, the common skin conditions you get when you're not applying sunscreen. Firstly, skin tan, skin burn, freckles, melasma. There may be allergic reactions and eczemas like photodermatitis, polymorphic light eruption. There might be eruptions on your lips as well, like actinic cheilitis. There might be actinic dermatitis. So there are innumerable skin conditions which comes when you're not applying a sunscreen. So, and also, of course, remaining in the sunlight for long hours, that also causes these problems.
So this is very important to know that application of sunscreen is really essential. Otherwise, one has to go through all other problems. So, ma'am, the all the problems that we have discussed that happens when we don't apply the sunscreen. So, what would be the right treatment for it? So, like for a quick treatment, if somebody wants to have
A treatment as in for like when it comes to sunscreen.
the side like the effects that happens once the person is not applying sunscreen at all, that is melasma or some other skin type diseases
See,
that happens.
all these conditions, they have separate treatments, right?
Hmm.
So until unless I see a patient, it's difficult for
Hmm.
me to say. But then these treatments are also very long term. So once there's any eczema in a patient, that treatment is also pretty long.
Hmm.
Melasma and freckles treatment is extremely long. It comes with not only the treatment doesn't only include topical medications, but it also includes lasers and peels and a lot of other things. And once you get those pigmentation issues, it's pretty difficult because not only um, sun exposure aggravates it, not only causes it, in some cases it aggravates, but
Hmm.
hormones and stress also causes these issues. So it's very important for you to use sunscreen, and in case you get these kind of skin problems, you definitely should consult a dermatologist as soon as possible. Don't delay, because for example, if you can have some sort of dermatitis or eczema caused by sun rays and you keep itching, and if the itching goes on for very long, it might lead to permanent PIH or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. That again is also takes time to heal. So best is you avoid sun exposure and use a sunscreen.
Definitely. So as we say that prevention is better than cure. So instead of going for the cure and trying to treat it afterwards, just apply the sunscreen in the proper interval. That is what is needed. Okay, ma'am. Taking the next question, and it is from Rohit Ranglani, and he's asking, ma'am, what are the oral sunscreen brands that you would like to recommend that we can buy online?
I wouldn't like to disclose any brand names here on this live session today, but then of course you can consult me, or you could DM me
Hmm.
on my page. I could recommend you maybe something, but then not on this live session. Sorry.
Okay. So the best thing is to have one-to-one interaction so that your skin type can also be known, and based on that, you will get the proper guidance. So for that, Rohit, you need to have like you need to DM and have to have a one-to-one interaction. Okay. And the next one is from DG Chandrasekhar, and he's asking, ma'am, for protecting our skin from IR radiation and dust, what I should use in a day and in evening time in proper intervals.
To protect from dust.
From dust and from the radiations that he gets from day-to-day activities.
Again, like I said, any good sunscreen which protects from UVA, UVB, blue light, also even better. That's all, nothing else. You
Hmm.
can't protect your skin from dust. The only thing you could do to prevent yourself from getting dust allergies and stuff like that is covering your skin, covering your face and your arms or whatever, but there's no creams to protect you from dust. And sunscreen, reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours, use 2 fingertip of unit of for face and neck. So this is the least you could do.
Okay, so I hope Chandrasekhar, the answer is clear to you. There is no proper cream to protect you from dust, but from radiation, that you all you need to do is apply the sunscreen in proper intervals, and the proper application is important. Okay, now the next one is like as we are discussing about the application of sunscreen, what the adults should keep in mind, men and women. So let's discuss about the children. And from here we have the next question, and it is from Shalini. She's asking, ma'am, which sunscreen is best to use on children and on infants?
I wouldn't recommend sunscreen below the age of 6 months. If you want to use protect your child of below 6 months from the sun rays, it's best if you could cover up your child. That's all. But above 6 months, you may, and I would suggest use a physical sunscreen on your child who is 6 months till 12 years. A physical sunscreen which basically reflects the UVA and B rays. And above 12, both physical and chemical is okay. So whichever suits the child.
Okay. And ma'am, let's discuss the do's and don'ts of the application of sunscreen that the people should keep in mind, those who are listening to this live session.
Firstly, get a good sunscreen. Get a good one, which is non-comedogenic, water resistant, sweat resistant, oil free, whatever suits your skin type. If better, if you could consult a dermat, nothing like it. If not, do some research on the internet and get a sunscreen which is best suited for your skin type. Apart from that, you could do your entire skincare routine in the morning, from face wash, then your serum if you're using any serum, and then your moisturizer, whatever cream, and then sunscreen. Sunscreen should be the last step of your skincare routine. Okay, between each step, you could wait for 30 seconds to 1 minute if possible. Let the skincare product absorb in your skin. Let it settle in for a while, and then you use the next step. The last step should be your sunscreen. Use 2 fingertip units, okay, and then wait for 15 minutes, and then you step out from your home, right? So this should be your way of application of sunscreen. Then every 2 hours, reapply your sunscreen, okay? If you're at home, then also you reapply. If you're outside, then also you reapply. Do a little bit of hard work and try to carry your sunscreen wherever you are traveling to.
And ma'am, in the end, what is the suggestion to all our live viewers, as we've all got to know many important points already, but what is the message that you would like to give to all the viewers who are listening to you so patiently?
So the only thing I would like to tell you all is, no matter what your skincare routine is, whether it is a simple one or whether it's an elaborate one, whether you're a child or you're an adult or an aged person, whether you're a man, you're a girl, a woman, a boy or a girl, irrespective of all these factors, use a sunscreen. Okay, the last step of your skincare should be sunscreen and nothing else. Whatever elaborate 10-step Korean routine you're doing, or the most expensive facials you're getting done, or you're using the most expensive creams and serums out there in the market, will be of no use if you're not using a sunscreen. So instead of getting all those expensive sunscreen, invest in a affordable sunscreen. That is more important. So unless you're using a sunscreen, throw away all those expensive stuff you have, but use a sunscreen. Because if you're not using a sunscreen, your skincare is going all wrong, and then your skin will start aging faster. You'll start getting fine wrinkles faster. Pigmentation is there, of course. The more you go out in the sun without a sunscreen, your freckles if you're already a patient of freckles, your existing freckles will darken, and if you don't have freckles, you might get freckles. So it's very important. Make sunscreen your best friend. Keep it in your bag, in your pocket, wherever you're going. Keep it in the car, but don't forget your sunscreen.
Definitely. So, ma'am, we got to know many important points about sunscreen, that how it is an integral part of skincare regimen, and how we should take care of our skin, and what are the important things that we need to keep in our mind when like to apply sunscreen, and all the other things related to the application of it. So, once again, thank you so much for your valuable time. It was indeed
Most
perfect
welcome.
conversation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you all of you for whoever watched this live session. It was great talking about sunscreen. It is my favorite skincare step. Okay, so it was very overwhelming for me to speak on this topic. But again, I would say don't forget to use your sunscreen. If anybody of you all have any queries, you can always DM me on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm always available to answer your queries, and you're most welcome to question anything, whether it is sunscreen or any other question. I'm most happy to help. And yeah, good luck and have a great evening, all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, once again. We'll see you all soon in the next session. Till then, you can follow us on our FB page. You'll find us by the name of Beautiful Spotless Skin Team. And thank you so much, ma'am, once again.
Thank you.
Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. Thanks for watching.